Hey everybody, welcome to another Coffee Lounge Talk videos. How are you doing? I hope you guys had a good week and now you are ready to listen to this Bible verse Coffee Lounge Talk. Do you have your coffee? If you don't, pause the video and go get some coffee and then you can hear it. Or you can get your tea also, that works. Look at this. I started putting it here. You guys have seen it probably in one of the prior videos, not one, quite a few of the prior videos. I used to have them around me in, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 videos before here and there, but I figured now I will have it here because it's kind of, it reminds you about the forgiveness, because in our life, forgiveness is so important, because until you forgive the past wound, the person and the challenges that you have, you are carrying them with you. And if you know, in Buddhism, they say if you're the anger and the forgiveness, those are like, if you have anger for somebody, that's like holding a hot coal in your hand and hoping the other person to get burned. So forgiveness does the opposite, as if you are putting away the coal, right? So that's very vivid way of saying it. So, but the point is, forgiveness will set you free in so many ways. That's why I decided to have it here when I make these videos, because sometimes forgiveness can be hard, especially after separation and divorce. So what you have to remember is, even if you can't forgive the person right away, just make the intention. Step 1 is making the intention. Step 2 is the forgiveness, right? And then step 3, I actually share it in Wisdom Wednesday video. Step 3 is releasing it from your body, because our body is the subconscious. That is where it sticks the most, right? 95% of our everything that we do is run by our subconscious. So for this one today, the Bible verse that we have is Job 42:10. Job 42:10. And I have no idea why they say Job when it is spelled Job, J-O-B. I always thought about that. I don't know. Anyway. So I read it from World English Bible Version, you guys know, so that there is no copyright issue. So in there, God is referred as Yahweh. So I'm going to read that like that. Yahweh restored Job's prosperity when he prayed for his friends. Yahweh gave Job twice as much as he had before. So the point is, in simple words, when Job lost everything, where in Bible they talk about it a lot, right? Like he lost everything and then he got everything back. Actually, not only he got it back, he got twice back. So he prayed for his friends when he was at his loss. So which is not easy to do. So as I was going through my journey, a lot of you guys know, as you're coming here often, that 2.5 years ago, I lost my corporate executive job and marriage in the same month, November 2023. And my life was very dark from there. I think God pulled me out of the ditch, because I don't think I could have done that myself, because I kept going one day at a time. And I tell you, my friends, the life that I'm living now, it seems like a dream. Now, I'm not going to tell you that everything is perfect, but the point is, I bounce back faster, right? So life will throw things at you all the time. It happens to me too, but I linger less on the things that brings me sadness or suffering. Rather, I bounce back and I focus on the things that brings me joy. And that is the thing. In life, you will have this high frequency zone and low frequency zone. Things will happen that it will keep dropping you here, but how quickly you can get back up is the important part, right? And then more we can live our life in here is what makes life beautiful. Because if we are spending more of our life here, then we are just suffering, right? We all suffer a little or more, but more we can spend our time here, is life is worth living. So why I decided to cover this is because through my process, as I read many books, I have like over 100 books here, and I read more books. Books, TED Talks, you name it, personal growth field and meditation, whatnot. But all of this, as I was doing over last 2 decades, and some of all of this like connected in certain way that, you guys know that I came up with a very simple framework that I live by every single day, and it is helping. It is helping me and it is helping other people. So one of the things was that praying for other people, right? Now, your form of praying might be different than me, but the point is, it helps us to focus outward than inward. You think of it psychologically, scientifically, spiritually, whichever way you go, because I kind of read through all of that and kind of connect the dot. In any way you look at it, it is supposed to help you, right? So first, I don't know if it was first, but the most impactful one, the book is called The Power of Positive Thinking. Let me pick that book up for you guys so you can see. Okay, here. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. One of the best books ever. Like, I don't know which books I'll say best. There's like so many books, but this is definitely one of the best books, because the power of positive thinking, that, excuse me, you know how a person making, I don't know, like in the United States, $30,000 a year versus $30 billion a year. The person who's making 30,000 could be happier than a person who's making $30 billion. You know how? The difference in their thinking, the difference in their speaking, and the actions that they're taking, because it is all in our minds, my friends. It's all in our minds. So money is not the money can buy happiness in certain way, not like the real. Money can buy joy. That's how I would say it. Money can buy joy. Money can buy happiness. So happiness is when you buy a bigger house, when you buy a new car. Those are like, it gives you the spur of like feeling excited and all of that, but those are not long lasting. Whereas joy is that you can't buy with money. Like, I take a sip of coffee. And I feel so grateful, and I'll tell you why I feel extra grateful, because it was like 8 years ago now. Yeah, I had bad acid reflux, and I was in a crazy job, like stressful job, and I ended up leaving the job. Anyway, long story, I won't go there. So I had so bad acid reflux that I could not drink coffee for 3 straight years. I think I started drinking about 2021 or so. So now I can drink everything, eat everything, whatever. So I feel extra grateful because for a certain period of time, I could not drink coffee. Now, I got deviated from the positive thinking, but the point is, when you appreciate, and if you see my videos from 2024 at the back of my the wall, it was actually upstairs, I have the gratitude card. So I was practicing gratitude. Some of, even in this video, grateful for the sky, the tree, the Mother Earth. I'm looking out the window, and I'm still grateful for those. And the idea is find a new 3 things you can be every day that you're grateful for. It can be very simple. I can be grateful for that I'm wearing this shirt, that I had the money to buy this shirt, I had the money to buy these earrings, and I am able to make this video on this iPhone, right? And the microphone. There is like endless things. So when you take that mindset, that when you have this mindset that, okay, I want to focus on the positive, I want to feel grateful rather than what is challenging that is going on in your life. When you do it every single day, and even if you don't do it every day, just do once a week. But if you keep going for a long enough time, you go for 3 months, 6 months, your life is going to completely change. So also, when you do it to help others, literally, my friend, practice it and try and see how it changes your life. Because whatever is going on in your life, it's there. But when you, and this one, there's a vivid example I remember from this book, and that just changed my thinking in such a way, and I'm going to tell you what it is. So Norman Vincent Peale, he was sitting on a train, and then he saw somebody at the platform, and he prayed for that person. He doesn't know him or anything. He prayed for that person, and then he just thought about that person will go home, then meet with his family and whatnot. And I was like, wow, he doesn't even know this person or anything, and he's praying for him. That just changed my thinking. And later, Joel Osteen, he's a little controversial. Some people like him and some don't. I like him because I think he has done enough good. Nobody's perfect. And his parents, a lot of their learning actually came from Norman Vincent Peale, which I learned, which makes sense because his mom, 𝗬𝗲, I think 𝗬𝗲 Osteen, she used to pray for others even when she had cancer. She had cancer and she was given a few weeks to live, and then she lived 40 or 41 years after that, or maybe longer. So she died last year. Last year? Yeah, last year. But she was 91 when she died, and I think cancer was like when she was 41 or 45. So the liver cancer, which is like, dangerous form of cancer. But and doctor said she couldn't live, and then she prayed for people, and she it seems called people who she thought she might have, to forgive her or something. She thought like if somehow she has made them feel bad or something. But the praying, she would pray for people even after her cancer, when she was cancer free. She would go to the hospitals and pray for other cancer patients and things like, so many things. It's like thinking positive and praying for others. So when I read all of those, I listened to all of those, I started doing that quite a bit. And the peace that comes from that, I cannot explain to you guys. And it is not about the reward. It is not about the reward. Like in this verse, it says, okay, Job was praying for his friends, and then he was, God gave twice as much he had before. It is not about the reward, because when you go for the reward, your mindset will be in a different place. But if you really do it for thinking the kindness and the goodness, there's something that is going to shift within you. And like you have seen when I talk about in different videos, that this thing that I'm doing in this company, that Midlife Reinvention, I'm trying to help people in so many ways, through the events, to the books and YouTube and things like that. I just know that this is going to work. I just don't know how and when all of this will come into, places, but I just know it. And that is, I think, something that God gives you, that faith. It's so strong. It's hard to describe in words. And I hope that if you need that from me, borrow that from me, because one day I also didn't have, like 2 years ago when I was going through the journey, I did not have. I had to borrow it from somebody. So, several people, actually, several of my friends supported me, because all my family is in India. My mom supported me, but from far away, I talked to her. But my friends here, a lot of my friends, without them, this journey would be impossible. And my daughter, oh my God, if you read my book, you would see, there is some divine steps that was really going on through her, that she would tell me things which is impossible for an 8-year-old to say these things. I'm like, oh my God, that so the point is, when you pray for others, or it doesn't have to be like praying, like, if you are not religious, it could be just when you do some kindness or goodness where you don't expect anything in return, you just do it for the good of the community. Something in you will shift. I can promise you that, my friend. And it also, like I said, you look at it scientifically, psychologically, whichever. Psychologically, it takes the worry and anxiety from you to as you are helping others, your mind is focusing on that, right? So that's why I say that it is helpful in so many ways. So try that like once a week for a few weeks. Just maybe send a good, a good morning text to one of your friends or some of your friends, or, say you are grateful for something they have done, and do it for like 4 weeks, continuous 4 weeks. Like maybe every Sunday you send this message to others, and then, your life is going to change, because this book and the other, like 𝗬𝗲 Osteen, when she prayed, like, which I do now, I literally do pray for this entire human being, like this human family, like 8 billion family. Like I tell you guys that I really think it's not a philosophical concept for me. It's like really real. And also it helps me to live an authentic life, because you are most authentic with your family. You don't want to perform, and that's how I'm like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't want to perform. I am who I am here, and that's how you guys see that I don't cut the videos and I don't try to make it perfect. It is what it is, and it is so freeing. So try that, okay? And who are you going to be praying for, right? So I hope that whatever you are going through in your life, you are in my prayers. Like I said, all 8 billion people and people I know who are close to me, close friends, of course, I pray for them too. Your life is going to change, my friend. I cannot, these are the things, it's hard to prove with logic, but you can only feel it. But to feel it, you have to take those steps. After step 1, you may not feel it. You take step 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10, and then you're like, oh, something is shifting. Something is shifting. I can guarantee you those things. So try that, my friends. And even if it is like whatever you are doing, do it with full concentration. So now, if it is that Bible study is your thing, and every morning you are like, okay, I'm going to read a Bible for 1 hour every morning. It is not the calendar. It's not that discipline. It's like when we are doing it with our full concentration, and that's when life changes, right? So for me, this is what worked. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of new Christian. I became Christian only like a couple of years ago. So I'm like, how can I go deep in this journey? And this is what is deepening my faith. I take 1 or 2 verses and I connect it with my personal life. And I'm like, in this channel, I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to teach other people. I'm literally learning. And I also welcome all of your ideas and things like that. And we may not even look at the same thing like eye to eye. Our opinion may differ, and it is okay. But the whole point is we are learning and growing, right? So whatever works for you, do it with your whole heart. That's what the point is, that do it with your whole heart. So when I pray for people, I do it with my whole heart. And that has brought me peace, joy, and love. The self-love that I talk about, which is more like a self-compassion. It's not romantic love. Now, romantic love is on the side. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's like the self-compassion, because when you love yourself in a way that God loves you, then you are going to be sharing that with other people too, because only then you know how to, right? Because if you don't feel that love, how are we going to share it with others, right? So that's the core of it. That's the core of it, right? Because again, going back to, if you think of Christianity or other religion, it's like Christianity is more simple. The love and fear. Love is God and the fear is devil. Whereas in other religion also there is they explain it in different ways. But there are mainly, and psychologically also, there are only 2 main emotions, like the fear and love. Like the anxiety, depression, sadness, anger, all of this stems from fear. Like if you keep thinking, where is this anger coming from? If you go deep, 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 it is fear. And the same thing, when you think of all the good emotion, the peace and the joy and all of that, it comes from love. It comes from love, right? So you have to remember that, right? If you want to feel that love, if you want to feel that self-compassion, you have to start outwards. You have to start helping other people and focus on them and pray for them. Then you will actually start feeling better faster. It's counterintuitive. You're like, okay, I want good for me. Why don't I want to pray for me? But it's just that's how the nature's rule work, because it's our soul, our deep inside our soul, it wants to do good for others, right? We have mind, body, and soul, and the soul is the most powerful one, right? Our mind is powerful. Our body, body is the subconscious, which controls a lot of things. It sometimes bad, sometimes good. It helps us to not jump off a building. That's a good thing. But it's the fight or flight. But our mind also can be powerful with training, but the soul is the most powerful. When you can get that deep, that is when you feel that calling, the purpose. So to feel that, you have to start outwards. You have to help another soul to feel your soul and for it to come alive, right? Probably that's the core of it, to feel your the deepest core of your soul. You have to start outwards to help another soul for them to come alive. Okay, so if this resonated with you, please do share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and come back every Sunday at 10 a.m. for these videos. And every day at 12 p.m. I also post short videos. If you want, you can check those out. These are all under 1 minute, and those will give you a quick break from during the day. If the day is going bad, those will make you happy. And check out the Wednesday night Wisdom Wednesday at 8 p.m. too. Take care. Bye.